Okay, so you're at 10 million in revenue. You're looking to scale up to 25, 50, 100 million. This is what's actually going to be preventing your company from scaling. The problem actually is probably Salesforce. Unfortunately, in a lot of these cases, you purchase Salesforce, you don't really get a lot of good guidance from either the AEs or people around you or other tech businesses that you actually need to spend some money on people that are going to be helping you build out Salesforce. You need architects, you need developers, you need people that can think at least growth minded around your business, because the reality of those people that you're going to hire, how do I know this part? Because I was one, is that they're going to come into your business and they are more of a task taker. So it's more of, you would used to be able to hire me at a tech company. I come in, you bought Salesforce, cool. You pretty much are now going to be telling me what I'm going to be doing. I have really no idea how to build a business. I was a younger kid at that time. I didn't even know how sometimes the businesses fully worked at that point. So to actually give you guidance on how we should build out the company, yeah, there's no way. I don't even know how a company works, right? Very different from someone now like myself. We would come into your business. That is all we do day in and day out. We just help tech companies scale to the next level. And more importantly, that's the way we're going to be thinking. So I want to show you what you would get if you sign up for our free audit that we're now offering for you. It is a roadmap of how you actually get unstuck and get to the next level. And I'm also going to point out all the bottlenecks as to why you're hitting those levels and what we would do to solve those using Salesforce implementations or Salesforce solutions or Salesforce automations, something in that realm to actually unblock you from those things so you can hit that next level. So we are going to review this cost calculator, how much time and money you're wasting by not solving those problems. We are going to go through what you would get from us as the first email after you book this discovery call with us. And then I'm going to actually walk you through my cheat sheet on the back end of what those numbers mean to me and what I would need to focus on to actually send you over your personal roadmap to your business of how we would fix those items for you. So without further ado, the very first thing we want to do here is talk about this one. This is your cost calculator. It is not even going to make sense to you to book an audit or get a roadmap from us if you don't even think that there's a problem here. So we first want to focus on the problem itself, okay? The problem itself is going to be found using this calculator. Over here on the right, we have the salary that you're paying somebody, how many weeks in the year they're working, and how many hours every week that they are working. So up here, if you have $80,000, let's say you're paying this to your current sales reps, all right? You pay them 80 grand, they work 50 out of the 52 weeks in the year, and then they work a total of 40 hours every single week. That means we have this nice little calculator that just told us they get paid 40 bucks an hour. So it takes your salary and essentially turns it into an hourly. We need to know that because the way we're going to measure the things that they do, it's not going to be in long periods of time. It's going to be in short periods of time. And it is one of those sayings, death by 1,000 paper cuts. That's really how your business is also going to be bleeding cash, also going to be bleeding an extra time that could be used towards something else. So we want to find out what your hourly wage is for the person that is involved in the time wasting process. In this case, we're going to say it is a sales rep. Okay. All right. So we got the sales rep. He's 80 grand a year and he's getting 40 bucks an hour. By the way, this doesn't include your PTO, your benefits, your insurance, your 401k match, anything else that you offer to these guys. The free food you pay every year for, all that kind of stuff also gets wrapped up into this cost. This is quite literally just the cost that you see on the piece of paper. So 80 grand is probably a little bit higher. So 40 bucks an hour. Over here on our left-hand side, now this is going to tell us how much time is being wasted and what it means to us as a business, okay? So if this person is wasting 1 hour a day on some type of task inside of Salesforce, and there is, let me delete that, and there is total employees of just one person, let's just say it's one sales rep right now, that means you're spending 40 bucks a day, and they are wasting 13% of their time every single day. Then the bigger cost, this comes out to $10,000, almost $11,000 every single year by them just wasting 1 hour of their day every single day. And this typically gets bumped up as you grow, right? This is for somebody that is just one employee, 1 hour. It's honestly really good. You're usually going to be looking at something where it's like, I don't know, an hour and a half a day, right? And then there's maybe 5 of these people. Next thing you know, you're almost up to 100 grand every year on wasted effort of them doing things in Salesforce, trying to figure things out without having the proper knowledge on really how to do it in the first place. So it's just a bunch of wasted time. It's a bunch of wasted effort. They're not on the phones calling people like they should as the sales rep to get more deals in the door for you. So this is a serious problem that stacks up. We're literally talking about a couple people right now, right? When you look across your business, marketing, your customer service, your sales team, your C-suite, your finance team, your accounting team, right? And the list goes on and on and on with all the departments that you may have in your business. All these people are likely using Salesforce to a degree, and all of them are doing something inefficiently and wasting time. So this starts to stack up real quick on how we can do this. How quick does it stack up? Well, this is a common thing that we would look at inside your business. This is geared up for tech companies that are making at least 10 million in revenue and have around 75 to 100 employees at that point. So these are common things that we would look to try to implement feature-wise with Salesforce for you. This is how much time is usually being spent on those things and how many employees are involved, along with how much they're getting paid, right? So all of this stuff stacks up. You can see down here, this comes out to $1 million that you're wasting every single year on some common things that we can come in here and actually implement for you to cut that out with Salesforce, okay? So big cuts that we can actually make here for you, a lot of automation we can actually implement for you. This is now where you're probably starting to see, wow, there's actually a huge impact here that is being made, and we probably want to solve that as quick as we can, right? So this actually shows us, what we're looking at here, okay? So you can now see the impact across your business. What does that mean for you? How do we solve it? Well, step number one, okay, you book a call with us. After you book the call with us, you will immediately get an email talking about these metrics here. You're going to want to go in here and fill these out for us. If you do it before the call, it's going to make the call a lot easier because we could just get to the meat and potatoes of the call, okay? The point of this is we want to understand what your business is actually doing. If we can understand what your business is doing, we can then identify where things are low, and likely it's due to a process that you follow in Salesforce as to why that's low. So if we take this line here, average time from lead created to first touch, if this is taking you, for example, more than 24 hours, this is a problem. You want to get this down to almost instantaneous, right? You want to have some kind of prompt that goes back to them that would say, hey, we got this request. We're going to call you in 10 minutes, or we're going to call you in 15 minutes, or better yet, you actually just call them. You have somebody that's set up in your business that literally just calls leads as soon as they come through. Well, a common thing that we see that happens, why this gets up to past 24 hours, is two things. You'll get the lead from marketing, it shoves it into some kind of email inbox, and then you got to still have somebody go into that email inbox, copy paste all the information, put it into Salesforce, assign it to the proper person, then they get around to doing that sometime in the day, and then they eventually maybe call them or they don't call them, and they do it within the next day or two. Okay, well at that point, they've probably called another competitor, and they may have already moved on with somebody else, right? We all know that as soon as you get a lead, you want to call them instantly. This does not also account for all the money that you spent ahead of time on paid ads to get that lead there in the first place. I don't know if that's costing you a couple $100, right? So if it is, that's extra time and money that you now wasted to acquire that lead, to get them interested, and now you lost them because simply you just didn't call them. So what do we do about it? Well, we would implement a solution, right? We would look to see if those things are integrated. Like I said, we would set up your lead routing. We would set up an integration between your email inbox and Salesforce so it goes there instantly. We would set up an email notification to be sent to the owner of the lead, the sales rep, to call them instantly. We would give them a link to where they can find that lead inside of Salesforce. We would prompt all those things to happen so that it's all done automatically, to where the sales rep literally does not have to think. They don't have to touch Salesforce. They don't have to think about it. It literally shows up on their phone or in their email and says, hey, you got a new lead, call them. And it's like, cool, let me drop what I'm doing and call them immediately and get them on the phone, right? So we want to do stuff like that. And that's how we can actually fix these things for you. We would actually introduce you to those solutions because we know how to implement them, obviously, for your business. So we would go through this. You would fill it out beforehand. After you filled it out, we would then get on the discovery call, and we would talk in depth of those questions. You could probably see where I would head with all of those, right? If this is high or low, I'm going to ask you a few more questions. Well, why is it high? What do they do? What does that process look like? What are they currently getting stuck on? How come it only, how come it only takes them 23 hours to reach out to this lead? Or how come it is 2 minutes to reach out to the lead? What are you guys doing well? What are you doing bad? We'll then go through all those. We record this call. And then after the call, this is kind of my cheat sheet. We have all this information, right? So we're then going to look at all the numbers. We have some ranges of what we know works well in your industry and what doesn't work well. We know what we would have to implement inside of Salesforce to fix those things for you. So we then in 24 hours would give you a roadmap, a personal roadmap for your business and tell you, hey, this is exactly what we would do to fix all these things. And then better yet, show you this stack of money that you're probably wasting on those items. And this is what we can do, saving your business a bunch of money and time if we were to implement those items for you. At that point, you can do whatever you want. If you want to move on with someone else, you can. If you'd like us to execute it, which we hope that you would after that point, we can definitely come in here and do this since, again, this is all we do every day, all day. So either way, there's absolutely no risk to you. The only risk that exists is on us. We potentially do all this work and get nothing out of it. That is the only risk, right? You get nothing as a risk on your side. You get this awesome roadmap. You understand how much money is being wasted in your business. You understand how much time is being wasted in your business. And you get executable steps on how to fix those items so that you can get past that hump and into the next milestone that you guys are looking for. So this is exactly what we would do for you. We can do all this within 24 hours. And makes it really nice for us to potentially start partnering up with you and implementing these solutions for you. So if this seems interesting to you, click the link below in this video. I added it in the description. It will send you to our website where you can book one of these calls with us, and we will go through this one-on-one with you. Appreciate it.